Hey everybody, Tim here from Gear Talk, brand ambassador with Spypoint, and I am here today to talk to you about the new Link S Dark. So we're going to go over some of the exterior physical features of the camera, and then I'll get into some of the inner workings of this. Unlike the Link Micro, this is a significantly more complex camera to use. Something I found out the hard way, and something I definitely encourage all of you to do. Educate yourself on your camera before you start using it. I did not, because I wanted to see what someone who didn't educate themselves, I wanted to see what the frustrations I might come across so that I could tell you about them to educate you so you know not to run into these same problems. So let's go about the exterior stuff. So starting right off, obviously you've got the solar panel. You have the mounting bracket. So this is not on the Link Micro. So this is a separate plastic clip. You put your belt through it, you attach it to the tree, and then this just very easily clips on. Clearly not going to stop a bear swipe. Any type of animal hanging on that. It has a little, I mean, it holds it snug, but I mean, one good powerful animal swipe at that and that's off. Which in a sense could potentially save it from getting destroyed, or an animal could run off with it. So hopefully nobody ever has to find out. I'm sure someone will. If you have run into that issue, please leave the story in the comments. So continuing on, obviously you got your standard antenna that you can take off and attach an extender on. You have opening it up, or sorry, not opening it up, but going into you got the mounting bracket for your tree brackets. Okay. You also have here, pop it open. This is a dual battery functioning camera. Now let me explain what I mean by that. So you have an internal battery that the solar panel charges, and then you have backup battery options or backup power options. So you have the 12-volt adapter as per normal cameras, and then you have a dual battery system here that you can use. So this dual battery system, what I mean by that is it will take two different types of batteries. It will take 8 AA's, just like you see here, or you can purchase the Lit 9 rechargeable battery from Spypoint. It pops in exactly where the AA's would go. So talking now about some of the features this camera is boasting. You're running at 12 megapixel images. You're running at 1080p video with sound, LTE network, 100-foot detection range with 80-foot flash range, which means it's detecting the animals before they come in. You've got buck tracker technology, GPS technology. So you don't have GPS on the Link Micros, but you do have it on this one, meaning that in the map system for your Spypoint app, it will, once it's fully running, it will show you where your camera is. 42 LED lights, 0.07 second trigger speed. You have multiple flash settings with this. Depending on the quality of image you want, the Link S Dark has various flash settings to help you achieve those goals. The no glow setting is your best for power consumption. It has the invisible flash. Due to its lower power consumption, it gives you the best battery life. The flash range is reduced due to the lower setting in flash, and it has a half-decent blur reduction when it comes to movement. The optimal setting is a little bit of a brighter flash, still unnoticeable to animals. It uses a bit more power, so your battery consumption will go up a bit of a better flash range, giving you a little bit further distance on that light, and it has a little bit of a better blur reduction when it comes to movement. The next option, IR Boost, is best for open fields. It's more visible flash to animals, using roughly 25% more battery than the no glow, but it maximizes your flash range up to the 80 feet and has the same blur reduction as the optimal setting. When you're looking for the highest quality of image, the blur reduction setting will help minimize any blur from movement in the shots. It maxes the flash capacity. It's the hardest on the battery settings and only goes to about 80% of the flash range, but it really minimizes the blur and gives you the best quality image. So starting off with, as you always do with the wireless cameras, guys, get your camera, get a new, my personal opinion, get a new SD card for it, and then you're going to format your SD card, you're going to download the latest firmware and make sure your firmware is updated. Now, unlike the Link Micro where you just pop the firmware onto the SD card, pop the SD card into the camera, this one is a little bit different. What you have to do is put the update onto your SD card, okay? Then what you're going to do is put the SD card in, press down the OK button, turn the camera on, and wait for it to start the update. Once it starts, you can let go, it'll process through normally. So just a little bit variance on how to do the firmware update, but it's important for you to know that because unlike me, who didn't look it up at first, thought it would function just normally, took me a couple of steps there extra in order to get that done. Now, because I didn't do the research first, which a lot of people fail to do, believe it or not, it's just common, people get it, they expect it to just start working, but what they don't realize, this has been sitting in a warehouse maybe for a month, month and a half, 2 months, whatever the case may be. It may not have the latest firmware. So I've got the camera in the field, and it stops working properly. I start getting the images shooting off every 2 minutes. So I think, okay, well, I start messing with the settings. Change the sensitivity level, I change the time lapse in between images. Nothing works, it's just snapping off every 2 minutes. Now, it's in the field. I do not want to go get it yet. So I call up Spypoint and I ask them about it. So after a conversation with the wonderful tech agent, who was very polite and helpful, he says, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push an update to it wirelessly and give it, it's going to be on for 24 hours. By tomorrow, it should start working fine. So, okay, great. So I let it go, and at that point in time now, 24 hours has gone by, but I have gotten 0 communication and 0 images from my camera. So it hasn't updated since the night they did the update. I went 2 or 3 days, I let it go just to see if it was maybe a time delay or something like that. It was dead in the water. So I hiked out, got the camera, brought it back, and started troubleshooting. So I did what I always do. So I given the knowledge I had from using the Link Micros, I downloaded the latest firmware, I tried to update it, but now again, what I told you before, a little bit more of a complex camera, the firmware update is different. So I didn't know that at the time. So then I called up to Spypoint, and through chat actually is how I contacted them, and they explained to me the process of doing it, so I did that. Great, not a problem, you know, firmware should work and that'll work great. So I did the firmware update and put it through, tested it around the house, and it seemed to still be snapping a lot of shots, like every 10 to 15 minutes. Now that could have been because I had it in the window. To me, it didn't seem to be working right, so I contacted Spypoint one more time, and the guy said, well, it doesn't look like the latest version's on there. And I thought it was a little strange. So he said, listen, I'm going to push another update through to you automatically. I said, okay, all right. Now, at this point, I'm skeptical because I've heard this before. It didn't work before. I'm used to doing my own troubleshooting and fixing things. But I let it go, 24 hours. Next day, I said, well, it doesn't seem to be going right. So I chatted in one last time. And the guy said, do a power cycle on it. I said, okay, not a problem. Power cycled it, and bam, camera's working. So now this has been tested just around my apartment, and it has been working fine so far. But I wanted to go through these struggles intentionally with you guys because I wanted to show what would happen if you don't do the proper steps first. So I spent a week wasting my time because I didn't educate myself first. I knew this was a more complex camera. So read the booklet, go through it, understand the processes, look at the videos they have on the website. It will benefit you immensely and help you have a proper running camera. So outside of those frustrations, my camera is working, everything is fine now, and I'm getting some great quality photos and videos. So let's take a look at a couple of those right now. excited, guys, to get this back out and running. I hope you found this video informative. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I try to respond to everybody who makes any comments on the videos. If you have any problems with Spypoint products, please be sure to check in with their tech support. I cannot stress that enough. They're there to help you. And I know sometimes it's a pain when one's not working, but you know what? A quick chat, get the updates and the information you need, and you can have your camera back to working and helping you. That is it for this episode of Gear Talk. Tim here, brand ambassador with Spypoint. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a great day.